Namaste and welcome to episode 6 of Moffside. I say namaste because if you're listening to this driving around in your car, then you've just come off Buddha radio, and maybe it's a little bit of a transition to go from the bells and harmonic singing of the Buddha show straight into football. So I'm going to segue you in quite nicely with a smooth intro. So namaste, all our Buddhist listeners. Keep listening because there's probably quite a good link between football and Buddhism. It's out there somewhere. If you look hard, you'll probably find it. On episode 6 today, we're joined in the studio by Holes. Hi, Holly.
Hi, Stu. That's a great nickname.
I've given you the Holes nickname because you're taking the Z off Leds, who can't be here because he's actually away with the academy.
He is, yeah. They've got a 3-day camp at the moment,
right,
and he is helping. I believe he coaches the under-16 team.
He does.
He does a great job of it.
He does, yeah. It counters that kind of narrative that you kind of hear from time to time that he's just, taking a bit of a holiday, hanging around, just doing nothing all the time, and just enjoying being an amateur footballer in his inn. But no, he actually works quite hard for what little money he does get.
He does. You'd be surprised at how hard he works. I mean, the posters he creates for the skill school and things like that, he puts a lot of time and effort into them, and I can confirm they look fantastic.
That's cool. And also, I think Fiona, his mum, listens to this, so that's just doubly confirming that Holes, we haven't dropped Leds. Leds is busy earning his crust, and of course, we don't pay him anything for this, so it's not really a hard choice for him to choose to do his job or to come in here and talk football for half an hour with us.
No, and they're big boots to fill, so that's what he told me to say anyway. So.
Yeah, he probably would have done, yeah. But there are some similarities between you and Leds, though, because I believe you're right-handed.
I'm left-handed, actually.
You're left-handed. Are you left-footed?
Yes.
You're left-footed. Leds is left-footed.
He is.
So there's a similarity there.
Yeah, but he can kick it a lot better than I can, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
Do you consider yourself a specialist in set pieces?
Oh, God, no.
No, you don't?
No.
Okay.
I like to be on the end of them, but I would never put myself forward to take them.
Okay, so 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
It's a bit average.
It's not great.
We're trying to find links there that probably don't really exist.
No.
And we've also got in the studio today, we've got Cam McPhail. Hi, Cam. How are you?
Hi, Stu. How are you?
Great, thank you. Cam's the head coach this season of the Southern United National League youth side. Promotion from last year when you were the assistant coach.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Worked with Terry and Harley last year, which was good fun.
Yep. And you're kicking off the season this weekend, I believe.
Yeah. We fly out Sunday morning for a game against Team Wellington Youth on Sunday afternoon. So it's a tough one first up. So
that will be a tough one.
Very good side. So
yeah. And we've also got in the studio our second guest today, Jade Middleditch.
Hello,
hi, Jade. Who's here as the NWL goalkeeper. Played on Sunday. It's your second game this season out of 3.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. A bit of a high-scoring match on Sunday, 5-5.
Yes, you could say that.
Well, yeah, I mean, 10 goals in a game of football, that kind of counts as being high-scoring. So the game, I watched it yesterday. Finally got around to having some time to watch the game. And actually I was quite impressed with you. I gave you some stats before the show. And I thought I'd just go over your performance a little bit here on live on air, just to really, really, really embarrass you, because I know you'll be embarrassed. Actually, she's going red right now. There were Northern had 23 shots on goal, scored 5 goals. So take away that, there was 18 shots on goal that didn't go in. I looked at those, and of all those 18, you made contact with them, so you stopped all those other 18 shots. So not all the shots are great, but not all of them are saved. Some of them just gathering the ball up, but that gives you a 79% goal stopping ratio, which I think was pretty good, compared to their goalkeeper who had a 45%. Okay, so we had a lot less shots on goal. It also means that we were probably a lot more clinical in our finishing, which is a good sign. But 5-5, do you feel that was a 1 or 2 points dropped, Jade?
Well, to be fair, I think we were all a bit gutted that we couldn't get that win.
Yeah.
But then I think it also proved to everyone that we can compete in the league. We're not like we were a few years ago, where everyone just looked down on us thinking, oh, we're just playing Southern, this will be an easy game.
Yeah.
It's more like, oh, shit, it's Southern.
Yeah.
Like, they're here to compete, they're here to win.
Yeah.
And that's basically what we're here to do this season.
That's right. Not only do you have to go all the way down to Invercargill or Logan Park, that's my phone. Not only do you have to do all that travelling also, but you're also going to be in for a hell of a game when you turn up as well, which is great. How good was Amy Hislop though?
Oh, don't get me started. She's my idol at the moment.
Very impressive. I mean, as a tall number 9, that's exactly what you want with Ruby Anderson playing as that smaller striker in that partnership offer. But I mean, the penalty that she scored, that came off the back of a run into their box from inside our own half, I believe.
She's really stepped it up this season.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of her, especially being so young for her age.
How old is she still now?
Oh gosh.
She's 18.
She's
isn't she?
18.
Or just turned 19.
Just turned 18.
18, 19. She's still young.
Yeah.
But at the same time, now she's making that step up and being a presence. Boom, here I am. I think that's going to be a powerful presence for Southern United this season that perhaps we hadn't really had, that traditional number 9 striker causing problems in the box.
And I'm glad she's back as well, because she had a great club season this year.
She did, didn't she, for Queenstown? Yeah.
Something like 41 goals or something for Queenstown.
Something crazy like that.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having defended against her in the Queenstown versus Uni game, I can confirm that that's just impossible.
Yeah.
Defending against Amy Hislop does not exist.
Yeah.
She's just going to beat you to wherever the ball goes.
And she can score from outside the box as well, as we saw.
She's got a fiery kick,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's insane.
And that's something I think we need in the team as well.
Yeah, I mean, Cam, you'll probably back me up, but sometimes when things aren't going your way, just knowing you've got somebody on the team who can get you the odd goal here and there just gives you that extra little bit of hope. Because obviously, we just mentioned Ruby, you've got Cam Anderson in your regional side and also in the youth side.
Yeah. Look, there was times this season, especially in the South Island League for Mosgiel, where we were under a lot of pressure, and having someone like Cam and the likes of Ben Dealey and O'Reilly Anderton who can get you goals sometimes out of nowhere. It does really help take the pressure off. Yeah.
It makes it a lot harder when you don't have that. So going into the start of the youth season, so my question that I want to ask then really is about as a youth coach, is what does success look like for a youth team?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think for the youth team, it really is focused on player development. So that is kind of my mandate as the coach is, can I help these players develop to a point where hopefully some of them can push through into the senior side. Obviously last year we had a few, the likes of Rory Finley, Tim O'Farrell, Alex Cox, and can we have that same sort of progress again this year? For some of the lads, that might come sooner than others. Some guys will be in a position where they're just looking to have a good youth season and see where that takes them. Some of them it's probably just about solidifying a starting spot or even just a spot in the 16. We've got a range of ages across the squad, so yeah, it's quite exciting to see what sort of development will happen over the course of the season.
Indeed, and we've seen a progression as well from the national age group teams through into the youth teams, and then hopefully on into the senior team as well. I mean, Ollie Clotty's in your squad this year, as well as a couple of other the younger 15, 16 age group.
Yeah. So Ollie obviously was in the youth team last year as well as being part of the national age group setup. We've also got Sam Cosgrove, which really, really pleasing for him because last year he got injured during the youth team's pre-season, was out for 7 or 8 months. Has come back looking really sharp, so hopefully he can get a good youth season under him. And Luke Williams as well. Yeah. So he's in that 16th grade national age group side as well, and then there's a couple of other younger ones as well, lots of Spencer Gable. So yeah. I've coached Sammy before as well, and he also brings something into the mix, which is his bubbly personality, which is something you also want to have in the change room. He's always, he's the one first out with the banter and the little tricks and the flick of the ear and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, he's quite good value like that, quite quiet, and then sort of behind the scenes there's plenty of banter from Sam. So yeah, he's a good lad.
Yeah, what's the banter like in the NWL change room this season?
Well, I'd just like to point out Emily Morrison's a bit of a jokester.
Bit of a jokester, yeah.
Yeah, I think we do have a lot of character in our team, and it's good because there's like a balance of being serious and also having fun, and everyone in the team's so supportive, and I just think, I don't know, it's a really good environment to be in because then you know that you're not going to be judged, and you're like open to being like, I don't know, like expressing yourself. However, like kudos to Emily Morrison.
Yeah, she's a bit of a joker, isn't she?
Yeah.
I was watching the game down, and there was a moment I think when Northern had the ball for a free kick just in front of the D, and she was rolling the ball up across her shoulders and then juggling it across, doing a Beckham kind of nod on the thing, and then handed the ball back. And I just thought that's just so Emily.
Didn't she also header the ball off the line and celebrate it as though she'd scored a goal?
Yeah, she did.
She did, yeah. I remember seeing that on the live stream as well.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny to me. She is quite a joker.
She is quite a joker, yeah. So talking about joking and stuff though as well, because team culture is really important when you've got a side out, and having a team that's on the same page and having belief in each other, but also being able to forgive each other quite quickly, being able to make mistakes, have them out on the page, and then move on from those is quite an important part of football. But we were just going to talk about, we mentioned it earlier on the thing that we were probably going to talk about, a great thing that you've been doing with your Facebook page, which is looking into mental health. Now, for me, I'm a big advocate. I believe that football has a big, powerful role to play in helping the mental health space for young people. I think football provides a lot of the things that are missing in people's lives these days: a sense of identity, a sense of being part of something bigger than yourselves. There you go, Buddhists. We've connected it. Thanks for listening this far as well. Yeah. But it just gives you something bigger than yourself, but something that can also come back into yourself and help to improve and give you a sense of identity and culture in the world. But you've done something on Facebook which that I've thought was wonderful the first time I saw it. It's called My
Self-Care Page.
My Self-Care Page. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So actually, funny enough, I originally named it Students' Guide to Self-Care. So it was actually based towards more students.
Yeah.
And then I thought I'm just going to share some of my own stuff. So basically, I attempted to take my life during the club season this year, and it kind of, I don't know, basically describe it as like a pre-midlife crisis.
Wow.
In a way. And so I changed the focus on that page and started sharing some of my own experiences with mental health and how I've struggled, but also sort of overcome those challenges. And I guess by sharing my story with people, it's allowed others to open up and share theirs.
Yeah.
And I've had quite a few messages over the past couple months just from people saying now that I've shared my story with you, you've shared your story with me, I don't feel like I need to hide anymore.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the most important thing for me, is that I want people to feel like they can share their story without judgment or fear.
Yeah.
And just being comfortable to say I'm not okay.
Yeah. Jade, that's wonderful. I'm so pleased that you've shared that here. I want to just say, first and foremost, I think you're a wonderful person, and I think you are a role model, not only to young women, but to young people and old people like myself, actually. I mean, you're a Kate Shepherd medalist, winner of the Kate Shepherd Cup. You're a National League player. You're somebody who's battled adversity, and for anyone from any age, that's something you can take admiration from, and the fact you've overcome this adversity. I want to talk about it. That's just so amazing. And thanks for sharing it here on Moffside. I
agree with Stu. It's definitely something that's very positive to see. I actually am not very honest with my story. Only a few people from here know about it, but I actually recently lost my dad to suicide. So that's a story that I still struggle to talk about. So it's nice to see someone of the same age as me talking about that experience and trying to help other people understand from your own life experiences. So it is actually quite positive to see, and different compared to back in England, where it's still very closed off.
Is it?
Yeah, that kind of conversation doesn't happen a lot.
No.
So it's nice that I'm already meeting people while I'm here that, like you, Jade, is open to talking about that kind of stuff. So it is really positive, and it's good to see that the footballing community really comes together with it.
Yeah.
And Southern United is a great team, I feel like, that does that really well.
Yeah.
So it's very positive to see.
Yeah. And Cam, you're obviously a high school teacher, as well as being a youth team coach and a regional league premiership coach and that kind of stuff. So, you're not as old as me, but you're an older person in the community, but you've got a lot of contact with young people, and that must be something you're aware of as well. Yeah,
very much so, and I think it's a great message to put out there about being open and being willing to, I guess, share your story is awesome, because I think a lot of people can sort of relate to that. I think you don't really realise just how many people do battle with some sort of mental health issue at times. Really inspiring sort of story.
Yeah. I hope that if Nicola Parsons is listening as well, I mean, I might just tell a little bit about what really made me decide to get really involved in coaching as well. I was coaching Dunedin Tech's fourth side, just in kind of vaguely the most social team that they put out, and one of the young kids in that took his life at 18, Kieran Parsons, and at that point it was a terrible thing to admit, that you thought that you could really have done something for him, but then looking back, you just think there wasn't anything I could do, but you still think, could I have done something? And for me, that was a moment when I realised that as a coach, as someone in the community has some kind of influence on over the thoughts and feelings of young people, that there's, if you can create a good, positive football community, then that you can go some way towards dealing with those kind of problems and issues. And I don't know if anyone's aware about how Iceland had got into the situation now where they can go and beat England 2-1, but that was the Icelandic government started an initiative when they were worried about their suicide rates, not only amongst young people but also about older middle-aged guys as well. So they did the UEFA B licenses for free, and they built loads and loads of football indoor facilities, and then suddenly within 3 or 4 years they were a European powerhouse with on the back of football. So I do think these things are linked. I think football and mental health kind of do go hand in hand, and I think we're a strong community presence that can actually be positive and help people in their lives. Having said that, I haven't myself, I'm one of those rare people who I don't think have had a really bad mental health